Hello, 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 daring one. So good to be with you. So good to be back from New York. I was down there for an event with Olivia Charlet, and I got back late last night. So I'm hopping on. Oh, not later than usual, but I'm pretty tired, pretty pooped. So forgive me if not all of my sentences come out coherently. Bear with me. I know you got my back. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Alexandra, proud founder of alexandrakavuji.com, where I help women step into their power, really create lives that they love from a place of confidence, conviction, and really being daring. And if you're joining me live, please do say hello. If you're watching the replay, post below, let me know. This is going to be, I feel like, one of those lives. Hey, love. Hey, Joy. So good to see you. I feel like this is going to be one of those lives where I stumble over my words because I am tired, and not in a bad way, but tired and raw from this past weekend. Alyssa, hello. So good to see you. So good to see you. So this past weekend, I went to a 2-day event, Unleashed, in New York City with Olivia Charlet. And as you guys know, I love going to events. I've been to multiple events. I'm going to an event next month, Tony Robbins. I'm going to go to Infinite Receiving in October. I'm already booked for those. I love events because they're so powerful and they bring in so many amazing people, and it allows you to really crack open in a new way and really crack open in the witnessing of other people, right? Rose, so good to see you, love. So good to see you. So there's a lot of exhaustion, emotional exhaustion that goes on at events, excitement, right, which creates kind of some exhaustion, and just really unraveling, cracking open, and really hitting that next level. And the really important thing that I think about group programs or live events is that you really get to surround yourself with other people who want to do big things, who are doing big things, who are going to be doing big things. And that is such a potent energy. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys have somebody in your lives who doesn't really fully know what you're doing, or maybe isn't like your biggest cheerleader, or they're like, what is even a coach, right? And that's fine. But when you start surrounding yourself with people who believe in what you're doing, believe that it can happen, and have set their sights on their own goals, that is just so powerful. I'm such a big fan of events. But I'm sleepy. So I want to talk to you guys today. Let me pull this up. I want to talk to you about how to show up and sell confidently, because Joy, thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. So good to get those hearts. You guys, I saw 3 snakes the other day, and there's like 7 snapping turtles coming out of the ground all of a sudden, and I'm really confused with what's going on. I feel like there's some kind of there we go. There I am. So you guys, bear with me if I'm a little bit tired, if I'm a little bit incoherent. I could not wait to go live with you guys. I was thinking to myself, maybe I'll just put it off until tomorrow, but I missed you. I want to be with you, and I want to share really powerful information with you. I learned a lot this weekend. I've got a group program, 4-week mindset mastermind coming up that I think is really powerful, and I want to tell you about that. And a lot of what I talk about today and showing up powerfully and selling powerfully has to do with identity. So I want to dive into that. Yes, I am wild, Joy. You know it. You know it. Takes one to know one, lady. Takes one to know one. So how to show up and sell powerfully, right? So I know that sales are this kind of weird area of your business where you're like, I don't really want to sell anything. I just want like droves of people to come knock on my door and be like, I love what you're doing and I'm going to pay you for just being there, right? That's the ideal. And I see a lot of women get hung up over selling because they don't want to push things onto people's laps. They don't want to feel pushy. They don't want to feel salesy. They don't want to feel manipulative. They don't want to feel like they are twisting anybody's arm. And I want to talk about where that comes from. And I also want to talk about how to overcome that, what to do to show up powerfully, how to really step into that identity of selling powerfully, and really how to up level, right? How to move up to the next level. And up level is like one of those trigger words that it's like, oh, shut up. Everybody uses up level, right? But when you take it down to the actual, the actual two parts of the word, it is up level. You're moving up a level. And as mainstream as that may be, we all are moving up levels most of the time, right? Whether that's spiritually, whether that's financially, whether that's in our actions, whether that's in our dreams, whatever it is, we are all moving up levels. And so the word is appropriate, even though it's a little bit overused, blah, blah, blah. I get it. I'm in the industry too. I totally feel your pain. So I want to talk about first where this feeling for a lot of women, not for everybody, but for a lot of women comes from of, I have to sell. Damn it. I don't want to sell. I don't want to manipulate. I don't want to hurt anyone. Give me some hearts and likes if you guys have ever, like anything, if it's a book or if it's coaching, if it's services, whatever it is. I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to be salesy. I don't want them to feel like I'm pushing something on them, right? Give me some hearts and likes if you guys have ever felt that way. So let's talk about this. First of all, this is specifically to some women in the coaching industry because this is my experience that I've had in the coaching industry, and I want to share that with you because I know a lot of other women have gone through this, right? So I'm not an author yet, so I can't really speak to like in the publishing industry and different industries, but in the coaching industry, I know that a lot of women sometimes feel salesy and sometimes feel pushy because they have been pushed, because they have felt manipulated, because they have felt like they bought into that shiny object and didn't get out of it what they wanted to get out of it. And what I want to tell you, the people who feel that way, I was gonna do a live, and I think I'm gonna do it tomorrow on regretting business investments and how to move forward from that. Regretting, quiet, just be quiet, honey. Regretting investing, $10,000 into this coach or this group program and not feeling like you got anything out of it. I want to talk about that probably tomorrow, but a big thing that holds a lot of people back from selling and selling powerfully is their experience with sales, whether that is from a 9-to-5 where you feel like you're just like, hey, do you want to buy this new phone? Hey, do you want to get this new thing? Hey, da-da-da-da-da. Oakley Dougly, he's down on the ground barking. He's been barking at the turtles through the window all morning. That's why I had to come downstairs so he can't see out the windows. And so I know a lot of people in the coaching industry specifically have, I've spoken to a ton of women, colleagues, clients alike, who have felt like they wasted money or they made a bad investment or they shouldn't have invested on this and they wish they hadn't invested in this. And thus, a lot of people have a bad taste in their mouths from selling, or a bad taste in their mouths from offering things, right? A bad taste in their mouths from putting what they have out there, because their experience is that when they have taken other people up on their offers, they've had regrets, right? Now, this may not be the case for all of you. So this is heavily the case for a lot of women in the industry. This may not be the case for you. Maybe you just worked in a 9-to-5 and hated the way that they sold. Maybe you look at the masculine energy of selling and think that it's super pushy and think that it's super disgusting and think that it's super like, don't manipulate me. Now, I want to talk about a couple of things around that. Number one, if you look back in your history, you can usually find where you think or what associations you're making with selling. That is the first place to uncover what you think about sales. Now, I used to feel so icky selling stuff. I used to feel like, no way. I don't want to sell. I don't want to manipulate anybody. I'm fucking heart-centered. I'm fucking heart-centered, you guys. I'm not going to fucking sell anything. But here's the thing. When you are not offering your services to the world, you're also doing people a disservice by not being there for them, right? To choose, because ultimately we are all choosing who we hire. We are all choosing to make a decision on investments. We're all choosing to pay for those jeans. We're all choosing to buy that iPad or iPod or iPhone or anything else with I or Android or whatever. We're all choosing to make purchases, right? Now, sure, people can be pushy. people can be pushy, people can be annoying, people can be up in your face. But let me really ask you, do you usually buy things from people who are super pushy? No, you don't, right? You don't usually buy things from people who are super pushy. Yeah. I hear a lot of women talk to me about how they feel like they made a mistake in their business, and so now they don't want to sell things, right? Now they don't want to sell things. I don't want to push anyone else into a bad situation like I was in. I didn't really want to hire this coach, or I thought I wanted to hire this coach. I thought she was going to help me, and she didn't really help me uncover, she didn't help me work on my mindset. It was just like, she just told me what to do, and I never really, whatever, Now, what is lacking in that, and I've seen this over and over, and I went through this personally myself, is the responsibility of saying, I made a choice. I hired a coach. It maybe wasn't what I was looking for, but it led me to where I am. And that's a really, really, and it sounds really simple, but that's a really, really big piece in being able to move forward, or being able to detach that from this idea of sales and manipulation, right? Taking responsibility not only for what you're moving forward with, not only for your results, but also for your past. And that's one place that I see a lot of people missing the mark. And that's because I missed the mark. Thank you guys for the hearts and the likes. That's because I missed the mark. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of insight to my past in the coaching industry. Over a year ago, about a year and 4 months ago or so, I invested from a place of magic pill, right? I wanted the magic pill. I wanted to get to I just wanted let's double my income in 7 days. Let's do it. Let's do it, right? So I met a woman who said, we can absolutely get you results. No ifs, ands, or buts. Let's do it. Let's get you results. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, yes, yes. We're going to make back the money that you pay for this. Okay. So I was a young little chicklet, as we all are at some point, and I believed her. But the problem was that I believed her, but I wasn't yet taking responsibility for myself and my results. So what happens when you do that? You then think your coach is going to get you results, right? You then think the person that you hire is going to get you results. You then think that... you guys can see my bra. You then think that it's just going to happen, right? There is this sense of it's just going to happen. I've been there. You probably have been there, because when we're new to anything, we don't know how much is involved, and we can't fault ourselves for that, and we can't fault other coaches for that, and we can't fault investments that we make in that, right? We cannot fault really anybody or anything. We can kind of only take responsibility and ownership and own that. Anyways, I didn't get the results that I wanted with this particular coach, and I wasn't necessarily angry, but I held on to it for a really long time. I held on to it for about 6 months, to the point where, every client that came in, and I poured love into them, right? I really, really, really want my clients to feel like I know what's going on with them. I'm with them. I get it. I'm with you, and I'm also holding you up, and I'm going to see your blind spots, and I'm going to dig deep. And I know you might not want to talk about this, but we're going to do this because this has everything to do with your business, even though it's your relationship with your mother, right? I pour a lot and really care about my clients. But I found that even though I was doing that, right? I do that now, and I did that then. But there was always this sense of shame and guilt, and I couldn't show up and sell powerfully because I didn't want anyone else to ever feel with me the way that they felt, the way that I felt with my other coach, right? One of my first. I've had a lot of coaches in my day. I've had a ton of coaches. And so that really held me back. So that's one thing that I see holding a lot of people back from selling really powerfully, is feeling like, well, I didn't have an experience that I wanted. A couple of things I want to say about that. Number one, always make sure your clients know that they're responsible for their results. Let's just live in integrity in this industry and make sure your clients know that they're responsible for their results, so that you can start them off on the right foot, and so that you can really give them the power that they deserve, right? Responsibility is a really empowering thing. It's not a burden. It's a really, really empowering thing. Girl, you're speaking my language right there, Joy. I know it, girl. And so let's just get that straight. Responsibility is super powerful. And when you give that to your clients, it's actually a gift, right? It's actually something that's really, really, really beneficial to them. Because had my coach been like, I'm not getting you results, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, Alex? I would have been like, shit, what am I going to do? Right? Instead of this massive blind spot of not taking responsibility. Now, a lot of people are in that situation. It's okay. It happens. It's just part of growth, right? But where I see that being a problem is where a lot of women use that as evidence for why selling is gross, or they use that as evidence for why they shouldn't do what they're doing, or they use that as evidence for a whole slew of things that don't serve them, right? And what is a belief? A belief is something that we speak over and over and over and have full conviction in because we have found evidence for it, right? That's really all a belief is. Something that we speak over and over that we have full conviction in and certainty in because we have found evidence for it. So you can find new evidence for any new belief that you want to install, right, into your brain, and completely shift your whole life, right? So when you're using your past as evidence that selling is bad or that you shouldn't sell, what happens? And this is sometimes unconscious, oftentimes unconscious. What happens is you just run in circles and you don't really know why, but every time you're going to show up or every time you create a program, you back out of it, or you procrastinate, or you don't really want to talk about it, or I don't want to push people, or I don't want to reach out to people that I know would actually love this program, or I don't want to bother them, right? I don't want to bother them. Give me some hearts and likes if you guys have ever been like, I don't want to bother them. I'm gonna give some to you guys because I've done that. Ding, 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 ding. I don't want to bother them. I don't want to bother anybody, right? So a couple of things. Number one, take full responsibility for any mistakes you've made in your business. And I don't even want to say mistakes. I want to say choices. Everything's a choice. Everything is a choice. Everything's a choice. Everything's a choice. Take responsibility for the choices that you've made in your business. I had another coach, mindset coach now, moving ahead in the story a little bit. I had a mindset coach who said to me, I was kind of harping on this, I didn't really want to be in that coaching experience. And she said to me, Alex, you made a choice, period. You made a choice to hire her. Maybe you made it with, more of a young mindset. Maybe you made it with more of a newbie mindset. Maybe you made it with, and this was a year and a half ago when I was kind of a newbie, right? I was like really just hatching out of my egg in this industry for the second time because I was a health coach long ago. And so she said to me, Alex, you made a choice. You made a choice. So the first thing to look at in terms of feeling icky with selling and not showing up powerfully is, number one, what are your assumptions about selling? Uncover those. It's disgusting. It's icky. It's bad. It's too masculine. It's, I see a lot of women say like, it's too masculine. Like the dudes are doing that. They're just like, get on the phone, sell, 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 sell. But I know a lot of really powerful women who sell beautifully and do it from a really a place of high integrity, beauty, and service, right? So when you're looking at evidence that just feeds your belief, you're going to keep feeding that belief, right? So number one, look at what you actually believe. Look at what you actually believe. Number two, ask yourself what evidence you're using to back that belief up, right? Number three, ask yourself what you actually want to believe. The first step to really shifting your identity and the way that you show up and the way that you do things, right? The results that you get, how many sales you make, how much you sell, how much you offer your services, all of that starts with shifting within, right? What do I believe? If you believe that sales are icky, guess what? Because you're a good heart-centered person, you're probably not going to fucking sell. If you believe that sales are really helping the women that you care about, guess what? You're probably going to be way more likely to want to go put an offer out there that's actually going to help people, right? So if you look at those two distinctions, you can see what's the difference in there. Both things are selling. Both things are selling, right? But One is of this belief and one is of that belief. I don't want to bother them, and this annoying thing where I tell myself that nobody needs or wants this thing anyways. I make myself do it anyways, but I can tell it makes things harder. Yeah, Rose, that's a really good one. So I don't want to bother them. What I would say to you is, what evidence have you had that it bothers them? I would also say to you, when has it bothered you? Has anybody ever made a sale and it's bothered you, right? In which case you can reframe that. When people approach you to make a sale, I see a lot of people get bothered with people. Like I get messages from people who are like, I really want you to be in my program. Or I get messages from people that are like, hey, do you need help in your biz, lady? I can fucking help you, right? Some are really good and heart-centered. Some are really gross and annoying. But my reaction is the same. Cool. Is that right for me right now? No. Is that right for me right now? Looks good. I might check it out. I don't take it personally. And so if you're worried about bothering them, I would ask yourself, have I been bothered, right? Have I been bothered, or have I let myself be bothered, right? Have I let myself be bothered? Jenny Boo Boo, women are natural salesmen. We have charisma and kindness. Being a good salesman who is not being pushy, who listens and believes in what they are selling, believing totally makes you the best in sales, owning your business, even if you're working for an owner. Jenny, I just want to fucking mic drop you all damn day, because that is so powerful. And I know Jenny from my days living in Oklahoma, and she is so powerful in what she does. And I remember talking to her about work. We would talk to each other about work. I was working from home. She would come home during lunch. We would hang out on the porch, or we would talk after hours and have a beer on the porch, whatever. And she really cared about what she did. She would get excited about what she did. She would be like, I've got this idea, I've got that idea, or I'm working on this right now. And you can see the energy in that. It's totally different, right? When you want to share something with the world, it's not selling, it's offering, it's service, it's natural. It's natural. Like Jenny says, yeah, it's totally natural, because we as women are kind and are usually heart-centered and do want big things. And when you really break it down, I know that there's a lot of like competition mindset and a lot of like that bitch mindset, but when you get to the heart of most women, they want to rise together. That competition or any breaking anybody down, that's fear, right? That's not coming from a place of love. When you really get to the heart of it, of what you're doing and what you want to do, most women want to rise together. It's so powerful when women rise together. And when you start to really work from that space, that's when you want to join in this conversation of global offerings and service and making this place better. Whether you are doing that from a place of writing a book that gives somebody some fucking comic relief when they're sitting in the hospital, right? Or you're doing that by teaching somebody how to set up their marketing system so that they can fucking hang out with their kids when they're sick, right? Like, look at what the end result is. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's not about you. Your sales are about them, right? The minute I stopped thinking about how icky I was and started thinking about how much I fucking wanted to show and help other women how powerful they are, it stopped becoming about me in full, right? It's not about me. Because every woman that I work with, I see your potential and I see where you're holding yourselves back and I see your blind spots, and I am going to do my damnedest to challenge you if I need to ask you deep questions if I need to go to that place that makes, you quiver and not want to talk about it and like on that verge of tears, and we're going to talk about it, right? Because there's so much power. And when I started working from that place, and then I thought to myself, wow, what are women doing with this power? What can women do with this power? They can go create a business so that they can spend more time with their children and raise better children for this earth, right? Like look at the next step and the next step and the next step and the next step of what you're selling. Because when you start with you or you end with you, that's the only bubble you're going to be in. Fuck, I don't want to be salesy or pushy. I don't want to I. What about them, right? What about them? What about the people you could help? So look at the end result for the people that you really could help. But let's backtrack a little bit. Rose, I don't want to bother them. Yes, ask where you have been bothered and ask why it triggers you. Why does it trigger you? What is triggering about it? What makes you feel unsafe about it, right? Because that might be from your story, not from their action, right? Because I used to get really triggered. People would reach out to me and sell, and I'd be like, who the fuck do you think you are? But over time, I'm like, I don't care if people sell to me. Do your thing. Like, get to where you need to go, because this is your journey. And even though I don't agree with your tactic, that's cool. I respect you, right? When you can get to a place of respect and non-judgment, then you can also operate from a place of respect for yourself and non-judgment for yourself, right? When you can get to a place of respect and non-judgment for everybody else and their journey and what they're doing, you can get to a place of respect and non-judgment for yourself. And that is really, really powerful. And that allows you to show up, first of all, powerfully. And second of all, if you feel like you can feel into it. If you don't really like something, you can be like, I didn't really like the way I did that, but cool, I'm trying, right? Listening to them sets yourself up to teach them your business and fix their issues. You're empowering them to be independent and be the best. Everyone needs someone who has stood on stage and can outline the outcomes. Never walk into a business or a client not knowing what they need. You're their prize. Be the prize and you will get the prize, which is money. Fuck. Woman. Wait, bang, girl. I am so excited. This is amazing. You are on fire today, Jenny. I miss you. I can't wait to see you in September. You are on fire. I love this. You're making me so happy. Yeah, Jenny is spot on. Jenny is spot on. It's not about you when you're selling, right? And when you're focusing on the fact that it's about you, what will they think of me? What are they going to think about me? Am I being too this? Then you're completely forgetting that you can show a lot of people a lot of things. You can teach a lot of people a lot of things, and those people want it, right? So then comes in a little bit of trust. You've got to trust that people are taking responsibility for themselves, whether or not they necessarily know it, right? Like, you've got to trust that you're not actually going to make anybody purchase something from you that they don't want. You're not going to go into their computer and like hit the purchase button with their credit card. You're not going to steal money from them. Every step of them hiring you is a choice that they are making. If the choice isn't the right choice in the end for them, it's still a choice that they made. It's still a choice that they made. And the best way to like deal with that on the outset is to always act in integrity, right? So one thing I always ask myself at the beginning of each month is, do I feel in full integrity? Where do I feel out of integrity? Where do I feel really in integrity? Where could I add new definitions of integrity? What areas of my life? This could be in any area of your life. This could be in business, relationships, etc. Because everything kind of affects everything. And I think you all know that, right? So yeah, are you in integrity? When you show up powerfully and sell in integrity for the people that really want what you're putting out there because it's what they want, not what you think is good, right? What they want, what they really need, what they really crave. When you're doing that, just like Jenny said, you become the thing that you're their beacon, right? You're their beacon, and that is powerful for them. And then you can guide them, right? So how to show up powerfully and sell. Number one, ask yourself what stories you're telling yourself about selling, because it's a story. It's a story. I changed my story, right? It's a story. You can change your story. I used to think sales were super fucking icky. I was like, no way. I don't want to do this. I do not want to do this, right? It's a story. It's from my past. It's from what I've been through. It's from what I've seen. It's from the conditioning. It's from this like male dominated like corporate world that we've all been living in for a long time, right? But there are so many ways of selling. So ask yourself, what are my beliefs? What is holding me back? And what are my triggers, right? So am I still triggered by people who try to sell to me off the cuff? How can I stop judging that, right? And how can I stop letting that get to me? How can I let that go? How can I let that lie? I still want to hop back to what Rose said. Nobody wants or needs this thing anyway. Okay, then that's where you can focus on you, right? Nobody wants or needs this thing anyway. So create it because you want to create it. Create it because it's amazing. And then find the way that it will help somebody. Now, this is kind of a two-part. So, Rose, I don't know if you're talking about, I know that you're a multi-passionate. And I know that you're a multi-creative. And so I don't know what specific thing that you're talking about. Yeah, I do agree and believe in when you are working with clients or some service-based stuff, you need to know what the clients want. You need to know what their end result is. You need to know what they want. You need to know what they crave. You need to know their vision. You need to know what it is that they see as an end result. You need to know them, right? You need to know them well. But let's say it's a book. Let's say it's a book. Then write it for you, right? Write it for you. Because what's personal is universal. What's personal is universal. I also came out with a book I'm writing this weekend. Oh, it just came out of me. I can't wait. I can't wait to share it with you guys. It's really good. And it's personal and universal. So Rose, I would say nobody wants or needs this thing anyway. So if it's the former, if it's service, talk to your people. Talk to who might want it. Ask yourself, dig in. I know that you know what people need and want. I know that you know what they want, right? And if it's something creative, then ask yourself, how can I fall more in love with it and share it with more people? Because what's personal is universal, right? So if you see greatness in something, chances are other people will. If you see hope and love in something, let's say it's a book or an art piece, chances are somebody else will. And that at that point, it's a matter of getting it in front of different eyes, right? Right? So that's a good one though. Nobody needs or wants this thing anyways. That is, to me, if they don't want to need it, then you are not passionate about what you are selling. You have passion. Hold on, Jenny. It's coming up. It cuts it off on my phone. Oh no, where is it? You have to be passionate. They believe they need. Yeah, Jenny, it cut off, so I can't see it. But I think I get what you're saying totally. First of all, there's two things to that. So if they don't want it and need it, they're not your people. That's like selling a swimming pool to someone in Antarctica. Like you're not going to do it, right? And don't beat yourself up for like everybody in Antarctica doesn't want a swimming pool. They don't want swimming pools because they don't want swimming pools and they don't need swimming pools. So on the one hand, if they don't want or need it, then they might not be your people. They might not be your people, right? If they do want and need it and they're not buying, then yes, I totally agree with Jenny in that. Ask yourself what it is about you and your energy and your passion and how much you believe in it. So that brings me to my the next part that I want to talk about, right? And again, you guys, I'm so tongue-tied today because I'm so tired from this event. It was so good. You have to have passion in what you do. You have to be so passionate they believe they need it. Totally, Jenny. I love that. I know it's baloney anyways. I've gone to my people and said, what do you want? And then make it and then tell myself nobody wants it. Right? So Rose, that almost sounds like a habitual thought. That sounds like a habitual thought, right? And that can be changed. That's a habit. That's a thought habit. And a thought habit is a belief. I mean, that's what that is, right? I do it even though I know the audience I write it for. It's like my head is trying to sabotage me. Rose, I will say this. Your head will try to sabotage you. My head tries to sabotage me all the time. Yours will. Flora's will. Hi, Flora. Jenny's will. Our heads are meant to do that. Our hearts and souls want to expand. Our heads want to destroy and then fix the destruction. Okay, let me say that again. Our hearts and souls want to expand. Our heads want to destroy and then fix the destruction. That is what it feels good with. That is its purpose, right? That is the job it has. And so recognizing that is such a good step. Really understanding, oh, okay, that's that thought again. I don't need to believe it, right? Because you don't need to believe everything that you think. So this kind of brings me to the Tamara Love. So good to see you. I was just going to text you about this Friday's episode to talk about what you want to talk about. So good to see you, love. So the next thing that I want to bring up is, in order to show up powerfully and sell powerfully, you don't just need to understand your beliefs around selling and visibility and showing up and, magnetism and all that stuff. You also need to really believe in what you're doing, just like Jenny said as she segued us into this, right? You really need to believe in why you're the person to do it, what it is that you do, who you can help, why you are meant for this right now. Right? You've got to go through and look for the evidence of why you are meant to do this. Now, I'll give you guys a little bit of insight. I was really scared to be a mindset coach for a really long time. Even though in my previous health coaching business, it was all mindset, even though my clients who got business coaching from me, all we did was mindset, right? Because I knew that was going to take them further. But I was scared because I thought to myself, who am I to be a mindset coach? My mind still tries to fuck with me. My mind's still this, my mind's still that, right? And so that is creating this belief and then looking for evidence. Well, who am I to do it? Because my mind still messes with me. Boom, evidence, right? That's a leg on the table. Well, I am not everywhere that I want to be. Boom, evidence, right? What I had to start doing in every area of my life and in switching my business over to mindset coaching, what I had to start doing was looking at why I am the person to do this. And when I started doing that, not only did I uncover a shit ton of experience, a decade of experience, a decade of investing and books and events and coaches, a decade of this stuff before I even started my businesses, right? I looked at not only my experience, but that ignited in me this passion that has just grown ever since. And it continues to grow because when you build on passion, you get more passion, you get bigger passion, you get wider passion, you get red hot passion, right? And that is magnetic. That is really, really, really magnetic. Kind of going back to what Jenny was saying. You've got to believe in it. You've got to really, really own it and love it and believe in it if you want other people to believe in it, right? And if you don't believe that you are the person to do what you're doing and that you're amazing at what you're doing, even in spite of the fact that you're a human who has challenges, we are all humans who have challenges, when you can really stand in that belief and own that, that's when not only can you show up, but you are excited to show up. Not only can you sell, but you're excited to sell. You guys, I've been talking about my 4-week mindset mastermind shift. It's an identity shifting mastermind for the woman who's running in circles and just doesn't know why she can't hit that next level. I am so insanely excited about this because identity shifting work has helped me end binge eating, find my true soulmate love and be in a really healthy, amazing relationship, start businesses, hit the 10K months, like all of that stuff was from shifting my identity. And so I know that it's powerful. And the reason that I've been talking about it for the last week really, really, really excitedly is because I know it's going to be powerful for other women. I am not doing it thinking about what I'm going to get. I'm not doing it thinking about the money that I could get. I'm not doing it thinking about, I want. I'm like, I want to help people with this because this is amazing, right? Because this is amazing stuff that is going to shift people's lives that they can use in any area, that they can use over and over and over and over and over. And you can feel my excitement in talking about it right now, right? When you come from a place of really believing in what you do, not only do you show up and sell, but you can't wait to show up and sell. You can't wait to show up and sell. And even if you do really believe in what you do and you're still struggling with selling, I would say then that's your limiting beliefs on selling. That is where your subconscious is holding on to something, some stories, or you're conscious, or you're repeating these stories and beliefs over and over in your head, right? Or you've had a bad experience that you haven't emotionally processed. You have anger that you haven't released. You have grief that you haven't let go of. All of these things, the head, the body, the heart, the spirit, it all works together. It's all in there together, right? So there's a lot of things that could be going on. You have fireworks coming out of your head right now. Oh, Rose, I love it. So how to show up and sell powerfully look at what you believe about selling. Look at where you get triggered. Look at what you judge in other people, you know? And also do your mindset around, or shift your mindset around why you are the person to do this, why you're in love with it. And I mean in love with it. I mean in love with it. Because let's be honest, every single ambitious woman on this or watching the replay has so much power in them and is going to face challenges. Every single woman is going to face challenges. In order to move through those, be in love with what you're doing. And sometimes being in love with what you're doing is only a matter of the story that you're telling yourself. It's only a matter of the story that you're telling yourself, right? It's not necessarily any big change. Yeah, some people do need to shift what direction they're going. Some people do need to shift what business they're in. Some people do need to shift all this stuff. But it is usually a shift in your story, right? So falling back in love with your business might not have anything to do with changing your business. It might have to do with changing your glasses. It might have to do with changing your story and your lenses, right? So, and I know that you're all passionate about what you do. I know that without a doubt, because you wouldn't still be doing it. You wouldn't still be going in all of the trials and tribulations, right? I know that you're passionate about it. Entrepreneurship is not always fucking easy, right? Neither is any kind of ambitious, high-powered job. Neither is any kind of creative endeavor. Neither is any kind of artistic expression. It's not always easy. It's not always like it's just going to flow out of me and everybody loves it all the time. No, it comes with challenges because we need to learn and we need to look at our blind spots and we need to grow, right? As I said earlier, the heart and soul want to grow. The mind wants to destroy and then fix the destruction, right? And so it might be a matter of falling back in love with your business through what it is that you believe and through accessing your heart and through really going back and saying like, why am I doing this in the first place? What is it that I really got into this for? What is it that I believe in this industry, for? Why is it that I love marketing? Why is it that I love coaching? Why is it that I love writing books? Why is it that I am the person to do this? Why is it that I'm meant to be here? Why is it that I decide if I'm meant to be here? Because who the fuck tells you if you're meant to be here or not, right? Like, maybe I'm not meant to do this. Says who? According to who? To you, really, right? So in order to show up and sell powerfully, to bring it all back around, look at what you believe, look at what triggers you, what you're choosing in terms of a story, what you're choosing in terms of a belief system, and then look at what you're looking at, right? You might be focusing on you too much, where you should be focusing on the client, right? Everyone's going to think I'm this. Everyone's going to think I'm this. Everyone's going to think I'm this. But what about the people you want to help? What do they need? What do they want, right? Focus on them. And I'm losing my train of thought. I'm hitting that wall. For those of you just hopping on, I was at an event this weekend, like very amazing, exhausting, tender, expansive, cracking opening kind of event, and it has left me with like parts of my brain that are still trying to connect, so that's why I'm a little tired and all over the place. But the point is this: if you want to show up powerfully and sell powerfully, change the story. Change the story that you're telling yourself. It might not happen overnight. I just got a call. It might not happen overnight, but it's possible. And it is so doable. And finding that love and that passion is doable. And that's also a story. And so that's when you become magnetic, as Jenny was saying earlier. That's when you become magnetic, because when you really believe in what you're doing and that people need it and that people could really, really, really do great things with it and that it could benefit them for their good, right? Not for your good, not for your bank account. When you believe in what it is that you do for the sake of what it is that you do, not for your bank account, but for the sake of what it is that you do, that's when it becomes magnetic. I love coaching. I love personal development. I will never stop loving coaching. I will never stop loving coaching. I fucking love coaching. And the thing that always brings me back is I loved coaching before I even knew you could make money. I loved coaching when I was getting coaching, before I even knew you could make money coaching, right? And that is always such an important part. Go back to the beginning of why you wanted to do this, because there's sparks in that, and there's depth in that, and there's this amazing magnetism in that, right? So I'm going to hop off now, guys, because I am boom, 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 boom. I might go take a bath or something. But I want to tell you about Shift. It is a 4-week mindset mastermind. It is identity shifting from where you are to where you want to be, and really, really, really affecting your results in that way, becoming magnetic, right? Stepping into the leader, getting really visible. Selling is a great one. We're going to be doing identity work with where you are, your next level, and then really diving deep into the blocks, what's holding you back, the emotions that are holding you back, the stories you're holding on to, the beliefs that you're believing, essentially. All of that stuff. It's going to be a powerful, powerful, powerful 4 weeks. Early bird just ended last night, but it is only $397 for 4 weeks. It's amazing. We've got some incredible women in there already. I'm so excited about it, you guys. I'm so excited about it. I'm probably going to talk a little bit more about identity shifting anyways, because I think that you can really, really benefit from this, and it can really, really help you out. Whether you're watching a free live or you're in this group, I think it's going to really, 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 really be a positive. No, I know it's going to be positive. It's amazing. It's an amazing tool. Hey, Nisha, so good to see you. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to post the link below. This is for the woman who is ready to step up, has been hitting a bit of a ceiling, knows that she's holding herself back. I know that you know when you know. I know when I'm doing it. You know when you're doing it. I know that you know when you know, right? And we're going to work on breaking through that and really stepping into the next level you, and using amazing tools to do that, right? I'm so excited. You're not going to be the same person when you leave the 4 weeks. So I'm super pumped. I'll post the link below. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I know I went a little bit roundabout, but there's so many things in this that are helpful to know and helpful to learn and helpful to look at. And so I really wanted to let you guys in on the different areas, the different aspects that I think could really, really benefit you. Love you. Can't wait to see you and you, Dre, and Okies. I know, Jenny, I'm so excited to see you, love. I can't wait. It's coming up so soon, just a couple more months. Love you a ton, babe. So I love you guys a ton. I will talk to you guys very soon. Go be daring. Check out Shift if it's right for you. $397. There is a payment plan, 2 installments of $222 if that is something that you are interested in as well. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be magnetic. Let's get you to your next level. I'll talk to you guys later. Have an amazing day and go be daring.